Let's talk some more now about this auction. I'm joined in studio by Dimitri Theoudosou, who's a director and shareholder in the Kyalami racetrack. Dimitri, thank you very much for your time this morning. Right. Just the background to why this is happening.
Okay, if I may correct you, I'm a director of one of the shareholders.
One of the shareholders.
And I'm a director of Fontaine, which is the existing registered owner of the properties of the racetrack.
So a sad day for you.
Very sad day. I've been involved in the Kyalami racetrack since 2006. I'm very sad to see such a historic part of our history going up for auction and not knowing whether it will be maintained as a racetrack or it will be demolished. We'll only know that at around lunchtime. I sincerely hope that the successful bidder maintains it as a racetrack and develops around the racetrack. The property consists of 720,000 square meters of land in probably the fastest growing area in South Africa. There's huge development in
estates and all of that around the area.
So the property itself, being the Kyalami racetrack, is a very valuable piece of property, and it can be maintained, and it is lucrative. And there can be development around the racetrack with the racetrack being maintained. However, there are developers who would find it more profitable to develop without maintaining the racetrack.
Just give us some clarity on exactly which part. I mean, you say the racetrack itself. Now, this does not include the popular theatre on the track and the business park centre that's attached to it.
That was part of the racetrack initially in the 80s, and then part of the racetrack, or part of the property constituting the racetrack, was sold off to become the Kyalami Business Park. Half of the existing racetrack is part of that old racetrack, and then a new section was developed.
Okay.
And it's mostly vacant land which can be developed. It does have development rights, and whoever buys it is buying a very valuable piece of land with development rights and a lucrative racetrack.
Dimitri, like you say, it's so lucrative. It has been popular for many reasons and for many events. How did we get to the stage where it's due to be auctioned off at midday today?
There's been a dispute between the shareholders of Fontaine for many years, and this has led to the liquidation, final liquidation. I'm pleased to say that 9 days ago, on the 15th of July, a settlement of all the litigation was reached, and the property will be auctioned today unencumbered. In other words, the successful bidder will be buying the property unencumbered. He'll be buying free possession of
Meaning
the
there are
property.
no conditions attached.
There are no conditions
attached. He can do with
attached.
it what he likes.
Absolutely.
Or she. You never know.
One never knows.
One knows. Just to sort of give us an idea of your hopes. I mean, obviously you are very attached, and I can see that it's quite an emotional thing for you. And obviously other shareholders are you hoping that the person who does get it would be South African? I mean, like we heard there's lots of interest from the UK, the US. Are you hoping it's going to be somebody local?
I'm positive it will be a South African entity, maybe one of the listed companies. I'm hoping that the successful bidder will be a racing enthusiast who loves the track the way many other South Africans do, and he will look at it in a way that he can make it a success by maintaining the track as well as developing either commercial or residential node around it.
Now, I know you said there are no conditions attached to the auction, and like you say, Kyalami itself is considered to be very prestigious. It's very popular for people to go and live in the estates there. Possibly a lot of them bought there and built there because of the track being in the vicinity. Now, what happens? I mean, is that taken into consideration at all?
It's strange. The racetrack was developed many years ago in an agricultural area where obviously there'd be no disturbance to residents. And the residential area has just exploded in the Midrand area, especially on what is known as the Meerland, the waterfall area. Yes. And it's strange. I think the municipality in the old days intended that Kyalami be a light industrial area. And the whole character of Kyalami has changed to become an upmarket residential and an upmarket commercial area. Very popular, a lot of demand by residents to live in that area. They are upmarket schools now. And yes, it has the residential area has encroached on a racetrack that in the old days was a bit of a disturbance because Grand Prix
it was their first.
Produce a lot of noise.
It was their first, okay.
But it was their first.
All right,
yes, most definitely.
So unfortunately, they will have very little say or no say in what happens to it, depending on what the person.
No, they wouldn't be.
They wouldn't.
Yes.
All right. Well, thank you very much. I'm going to call my banker and see what I have left over. Maybe I can attend that.
And auction. I hope you keep it as a racetrack.
And if I do, I will. Yes, I will. Anything to get Lewis Hamilton here. That was Dimitri Theoudosou, one of the shareholders at Kyalami Racetrack.
Thank you.
Know more. eNCA.com